Welcome everyone. It's I think this is 39 now, or was that the last one? Well, in any case,
think so. It's an episode.
In any case, I owe the audience an apology because the last episode just didn't get released. So you know that's great.
Was
if
it
you're
worth
wondering
releasing?
why? I mean, it was pretty terrible, but I think it might come out with this one. I might do a double whammy just to make it up to all our adoring fans out there, the thousands of
Maybe you could mix
people.
in like some of the funny bits, if there were any.
Like splice it up a bit, mash it up.
Do a bit of like a supercut, best of 38 and 39.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like a historical analogy of like, I guess the last episode was like the First World War. And this episode is like World War II. So this is like the big one.
It's bigger and better.
Yeah, but it doesn't really make sense without the one before.
Okay, so we need a lot of callbacks in this episode.
Yeah. What did we talk about in the last episode? Jason Arde. I'm still sad about Jason Arde.
Oh yeah, that was like hit news that never, to be fair, by the time we spoke about it, it was already quite late in the week.
I remember when you said,
we were like 5 days late on the news and just didn't even release the episode anyway.
I woke up at some point last week and I had a text from you, and it was, "Bro, Jason Arde is dead." And I replied with a link to a YouTube video of the Tupac song "Life Goes On," and I think it's very apt. I think that really sums up my emotions. You know, as a fellow minority academic, you know, in a sense, I'm quarter Romany, and you know, and I own several Hegel books.
Yeah.
You know, I can completely relate to what Jason Arde has gone through.
Yeah.
You know, it's like how no one listens to the show. Yeah, it's like how no one listens to the show. I think there's a racist undertone to it. You know.
Yeah, I think so.
I think yeah. It's like, you know, I imagine if you're black, you know, you can just tell when someone's a racist based on how they're looking at you sometimes. Even if they're being polite, you can kind of see it in their eyes.
The sideways glances on the tube.
Yeah. And that's kind of what's going on with the podcast, is that people are picking up on my admittedly quite multicultural accent, because I did live in London for a few years, and they're thinking, I don't like this, beep, and, you know, and then they're just,
this guy's so urban.
Yeah, he's too ethnic.
He's too ethnic for us country types.
Yeah.
Which is our main fan base.
Yeah, it's rural Saxons, of course. Anglo-Saxons. West Saxons. But yeah, no, I'm sorry, audience. It's not been a great few weeks for old Athelfeather. It's been pretty miserable. But things are looking up. I say that because I'm about a third of the way through my 620 milliliter bottle of Asahi. The perfect drink for when you're pissed off with your day job.
A shitty Monday. And a good Monday evening as a follow-up.
Yeah, I'm redeeming this day, which has not been great, with alcohol. That's
You're
how
still
you
in your
redeem the
shirts.
day.
I can see your work shirt. You're in the true salaryman vibe.
Oh yeah, you got to be wearing a suit when you drink this shit. You know.
Yeah, you need to wrap a tie around your head like a bandana, and then go out on the street and just sit in a gutter as well until 4 a.m. because you missed the last
just
train
fall
home.
Asleep. Fall asleep in a gutter somewhere in Tokyo. Yeah.
And then at 6, you just go straight back to work. You just get straight back on the tube.
Yeah, I was having a thought actually, not about Japanese people, but more so about Chinese people. I was wondering,
this doesn't surprise me.
Maybe any Chinese fans of the show. I know there's a lot of you guys out there.
A lot of you
maybe
West
you
Saxon
could
Chinese.
Yeah,
fans.
West Saxon Chinese people. Yeah, you might want to answer in the comments perhaps, but I've noticed that like literally every Chinese business I come across is family run, right? I'm sure you've noticed that.
Yeah.
You know, your Asian supermarkets, restaurants, and so on, which makes me wonder: are those sweatshops they have out in China some kind of hive situation?
Excellent. Yeah, I think so. And the more kids you have, the more workers you can employ. It's quite a good business model, really.
Does that mean if you break into one of those sweatshops and you like go down to the basement, there's some like incredibly bloated Chinese woman who's just like giving birth constantly?
This is getting very Warhammer very quickly, yeah. Some
it's also getting incredibly racist really quickly.
Yeah, perhaps. I've been spurging out on Minecraft for the last few days. I feel a bit dissociated from the world. I've been playing an autistic mod pack where you use cogs to drive machines. So my head is filled with cogs. I feel like a Victorian gentleman. Like I'm like Basil.
Yeah,
you know.
Very industrial revolution.
Yeah, pressing metals into railways and things. So, yeah, there's an elevated degree of an elevated waft of tism in my house at the moment.
I need to get back into gaming. Actually, I think that's probably
the days of killing children in Fortnite on your settee.
I got to bring those back
into the past. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, Fortnite. Maybe I'll get back into that. Actually, no, I won't. That'll be a terrible mistake because I'll stop playing it and I'll remember why I stopped playing it, and it will just make me feel a lot more pathetic, than I already
quite
do.
Possibly.
Yeah. So what's going on in the world today? I wonder. Who cares?
I certainly saw. I mean, what's the point? I've been seeing a lot of this stuff about this pamphlet that the British government published to help migrants integrate with society. In which it says if you have sex with a child, you could go to prison. So, yeah.
Are you a gambling man? That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
To me, that sounds like a dare.
Yeah, you could go to prison, but if you're good enough, maybe you won't.
Yeah. If you're a smooth criminal.
Counts as integration. If you're like, if you can fiddle the law well enough to get off having sex with children.
Yeah. If your style is suitably Anglo-Saxon, your style of molestation, then you go scot-free. For example, if you're a teacher at a boarding school, and you maybe halfway through the lesson, you ask a boy to come to the front and you get him on your lap, put your hand in his pockets or whatever, that kind of thing. That's
you're just seeing if he has any contraband on him. I mean, that's perfectly reasonable.
Well, that's traditional molestation, which is something we've developed. It's organic. At the end of the day, some institutions grow organically, and that means you can't ever get rid of them. This is the essence
natural.
of it's part of the natural order. Exactly. And so that's the kind of molestation that's acceptable, because that way you're creating a new generation of Tory politicians, right?
Yes, yeah.
You have to do it to them to get them.
And the Tories are natural.
Yes, you have to do that in order to create a Tory party. I mean, actually, that's why they've declined as a party, unfortunately, is because we've got a bit kind of
woke
there's a bit too much woke red tape in the private school sector,
in the private boarding school sector. All this VAT.
VAT raids, and then you can't even character build anymore. You need to build characters. It's like an RPG. That's what private schools are in the UK. For our foreign listeners, private schools in the UK are a much bigger deal than they are in other countries, because there's they're called public schools for some reason. And they all look like Hogwarts, and they have these huge grounds, and they're all really good at sports. Yeah. Well, not all of them, but most of them are pretty good at sports.
Well, they certainly focus on sports and maths. There's a big focus on academic comradeship. You all wear a uniform with, in my case, a gay cap.
You had caps?
I certainly did at my prep school. We had yellow and black hats, which we had to wear within a mile radius of the school. So not only did we have to wear these stupid caps, but we had to triangulate our position to the school so we didn't get told off. It's mind games.
It's to keep you safe. It's to keep you safe, because then you won't accidentally get molested, because people will say, look, those boys, they're wearing the caps. Oh, okay.
It's like a scent mark by a tomcat,
Yes.
They're he's already in the process of being groomed. We don't need to touch him.
By his teachers. The teachers own him. He's the teacher's bitch, I gotta I don't wanna be a home wrecker or anything, you could say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. At secondary school, we didn't have hats because I think they realised. To be fair, they did try and get rid of the hats at one point at my school because all the parents were complaining we were getting bullied because of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's probably true.
It probably is true. I never did. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would be furious. I'd be like, look, I paid for these school fees. You're not even molesting my son. He's just getting bullied by other people from other schools.
Yeah,
what kind of a school is
by
this?
other kids because of this hat that you're making him wear so that everyone knows he is in the process of molestation, and you're not even doing that. What's the point?
And no one's like, oh my god, that guy's getting molested. I don't want to, bully him because he might be prime minister one day at the rate he's being molested. That's the essence of British society. That's the social fabric, I mean, I'm sure David Starkey or someone like that would have a lot to say about this kind of thing. Or Peter Hitchens, I could imagine talking about this.
Definitely. Peter Hitchens, definitely.
Back in the day, you molested boys, slap on the wrist. And
slap on the wrist, slap on the arse.
Now it's because it's been criminalized, and I don't understand it. I feel like that.
I don't like it.
It's not a very good impression of him.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I have to do this bit. I can do that bit, the bit where he goes up and down. He always does that.
Very melodic.
I got to get an impression of David Starkey going. Do you know David Starkey?
The name rings a bell, but I couldn't tell you how he sounds on the off the top
He's
of my head.
he's a historian, and but he's not really a historian anymore. He's like a right wing, grifter type, but he's like old school gay. He's like ultra conservative, but he's gay. But he's like that old timey kind of gay. Yeah, which you don't see anymore, probably because they stopped molesting them at private school.
He was his long-term partner was James Brown. I feel good. Not that James Brown, unfortunately. He was.
Could you imagine?
Imagine. Oh dear. James Brown died at the age of 43. That's very young.
All that crack.
So
crack
David
rock.
Starkey, January 1945, and James Brown. David Starkey, James Brown.
Do you know what I would love to do?
James Brown, you know what will happen.
Do you know what I would love to do is get David Starkey on for an interview and then just be like, now, Mr. Starkey, in addition to being a historian, you also famously were married to the legendary funk musician James Brown, and then just keep asking him questions about James Brown, and just and he just keeps hearing his dead husband's name and like tearing up, and you're like playing the music in the background,
So obviously, his long-term partner was about 30 years younger than him. Well, that's old school gay. It's like Stephen Fry.
Well, no, it's different from Stephen Fry. There's a crucial difference here, right? Which is that Stephen Fry doesn't actually fuck. He has various fake forms of sex that mimic ancient Greek pederasty. Not in terms of anyone's age, though. Lawyers out there, let me be clear about this. Yeah. You're not going to sue me about this shit. Partly because you're never going to hear this podcast because no one listens to it. So I can say whatever the fuck I want. But also partly because what I'm saying is legally watertight. But anyway, what Stephen Fry does...
Losers.
Yeah, I've checked. Stephen Fry, he likes thigh sex. Okay?
Yeah, he's an intercrural buggerer.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Well, no, not buggerer. That's not buggerer.
Okay.
That is
just...
frottage.
Right,
frottage.
Okay.
Yeah, like cottage, but... Yeah. Whereas I know, in the Platonic sense, I know this. It's an intellectual intuition. I've sensed this. David Starkey is a bottom, and that's why he can marry or have a partner who's 30 years younger than him, because it's not, it's like when you hear about, a school teacher, a female school teacher who was sleeping with all her year 9 students, and and everyone knows that's absolutely fine. There's really nothing wrong with that. And everyone's like, oh, it's okay. I wish that was me when I was his age, blah, blah, blah.
Certainly when I was 14, I'm sure we all would have said that.
Same thing, because I'm sure we all, when we were 14, would have loved to fuck David Starkey in the ass. I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we were thinking. I remember talking to all my chums about that. Fuck, he's so hot.
Cool.
Cool, look at his ass.
It's so funny looking at someone like David Starkey and then knowing that that guy has been bent over, just getting his world rocked,
just getting absolutely railed.
Yeah, and then you just look at him and you're like, this is so funny, you know? And that's one of the things that makes me glad to live in this universe, you know?
Yeah.
It's very funny. It's the idea of an elderly bottom and a younger kind of like strapping top.
A virile young man.
It's so funny. It's like being a gay guy and then you grow up and you're like, I'm going to be a cougar. You know?
Yeah.
You get old and you're like, I'm gonna be like a promiscuous older person, but not like a creepy old man. I'm gonna be like, you know, a wine mum,
a sexy
basically.
Slut.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a wine mum, like a
a wine mum. Yeah. His podcast, actually, he recently did an interview with someone. Here's how I exposed Jason Arday in Cambridge. I hope it's not with that race realist.
It probably is.
Nathan Kofnas. I think it is, actually.
No, that is him. That's the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, he looks like a dweeb. That is the kind of person you'd expect to look like a race realist.
Yeah.
He looks like he was groomed. He looks like he was buggered at school.
I feel like all racists are just fetishists deep down. I think it's like it's all because all the rhetoric that racists use is all about cuckoldry, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say it's all like very sex based, isn't it?
It's very sex based, and I think it actually just goes back to, you know, the age old stereotypes about race and dick size, and I'm pretty sure that's why people become racist.
It's either an inferiority complex where you hate another race because they fuck more of your race's women.
Yeah.
And you're an incel and you don't get any.
Yeah.
And you just assume that should be, you know, granted to you
by promised
virtue
to you.
Of race. Yeah, exactly. You know, thousands of years ago, based on your genetics.
This pussy was promised to me thousands of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's a superiority complex where you're just having sex with other women of different races.
Yeah. Well, there's like a hierarchy, isn't there?
And think that's like some kind of grandstand.
Because white guys don't feel like they can dominate white girls, so they have to like date like an Asian or some other race. But then the white guys who would date black girls are stereotypically like, you know, they're more they get talked down to by their partner or whatever.
Yeah, you would think they'd be like
there's
the
a hierarchy,
chads, but really they're actually just like weak, who just get, you know.
Well, no, I mean, in real life, guys who date black girls are always just very cool, you know? They're always like, you know, even if I dislike them like David Bowie, I mean, you can't deny that the guy was cool, you know?
This is true.
But he probably wasn't a very assertive lover. He probably wasn't very, you know, he was probably kind of...
I think it depends on the culture. I mean, obviously, race doesn't really matter that much, but it's the you know, if I'm like a 60-year-old man and I go and get a bride from Vietnam, she's probably not going to realize how weird I actually am. Theoretically, I'm not weird at all, but if I was weird, culturally we're quite different. You know, some village in Vietnam and Greater London, she might not realize that I'm actually a complete freak.
She'd probably think you're really dumb, and she would think that she's like, oh my god, I'm going to get so rich off this fucking moron.
Well,
I think that's
Bill
what
Gates,
she would be thinking.
Right? Imagine if Bill Gates goes to Vietnam. Okay, Bill Gates is a bad example because he is actually rich. But someone who's not actually that rich.
And he is a paedophile
here,
as well.
Of course. Someone who, well, you know, Asians, they look a bit younger, perhaps, in some cases.
Yeah, you can't be helped.
Yeah, exactly. So someone who's like, you know, moderately well off here goes to Vietnam, you're like Bill Gates. And so they're into you for that, and they don't realise that you're a bit weird.
Yeah.
And so they're all into it. You know? I don't know where I'm going with this at all. I think
I get the point you're making.
I'm on the
Let's
Brew
keep
Dog.
drinking. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Brewdog, which one?
Punk IPA, because it was the cheapest one in Tesco.
Classic. I thought they were going bust. What's going on with Brewdog?
I keep hearing they're going out of business, but I keep buying their beers, and there's.
Do I think it is? I think it's papers like the Telegraph and whatever, they don't like BrewDog because they view that as like millennial hipster beer, and so they're constantly running headlines. You know, it's like you know, my father famously on the show is a heavy reader of the Telegraph, and he
friend of the show, your dad.
Yeah, and 6 years ago, I remember him telling me I used Revolut at the time as my main bank because I couldn't be fucked to like set up a proper banking account because like it takes forever or whatever. It actually doesn't, but like I was incredibly lazy. And I remember him saying like, you know, Revolut's about to go bust, and then he keep like sending me Telegraph articles about how Revolut's going to go bust, and I'm pretty sure it just made its IPO this year.
Yeah.
It was something like that, or it reported record earnings, or something was in the headlines earlier on this year. And it's like, this is just the Telegraph. I mean, it's probably more the case that they're just getting paid by big banks to run that shit, you know.
Undoubtedly.
But now I sound like some TEDx speaker who's like a new disruptive way to do capitalism. You know,
yeah, and it's just another shitcoin.
Yeah, we got a bank, and this time it's a literal goblin, like from Harry Potter, who's running the bank. You know,
he's fucking good at it too.
Yeah.
We've seen him work, guys. He's so good at this shit.
I know it looks like a really bad stereotype, but I swear these goblins, like, they're just really good at counting and stuff. Yeah. You know, it's not.
You know, it's not racist against goblins. They're just good at it.
No, and in fact, to prove that we're not racist, we've hired 0 Jews since this started, which shows that we're really breaking the stereotypes, you know, about
we're shattering
about
the glass ceiling for goblins.
Yeah,
the green.
We've replaced all the Jewish employees with people who look like drawings of Jews from 150 years ago. So, you know, think about that. Yeah. So the people who were getting conflated with the Jews in the 1880s, they're actually now working at the bank.
They're taking over.
That's real. Yeah. I was thinking about being a dwarf the other day.
What I'm getting from all this is that BrewDog is going to get a big bank bailout from the government, effectively.
Yeah.
At this point. Okay, you were thinking about being a dwarf.
Well, I was just thinking, like...
A fantasy dwarf, rather than a...
No.
shorter stature.
A gentleman of shorter stature, but I was thinking about how funny it is. I'm sure this has been talked about on hundreds of podcasts before.
The one person who will actually come after us is going to be like Warwick Davis or Peter Dinklage. The only person who's ever going to care. It's going to be like...
But you know what?
Only
a real dwarf would have the balls to do it. Because I'm convinced those guys have the best grasp on life. Like, in terms of understanding it, because could you imagine growing up just knowing? Because I assume it's something that's known like from the moment you're born, or like pretty early on. I'm sure there are like strong, especially these days. There must be like strong genetic markers for it.
Yeah, there's got to be testing in the womb and stuff. I mean, you're gonna know basically.
But think about it, those guys own their disability more than any other group of disabled people. I mean, they really fucking own it.
Yeah.
To the point where they will complain when you know when Snow White comes out and they've CGI'd the dwarves in.
Yeah.
You know.
So because they go from saying stop using dwarves as we're not like a show, and then so Disney in their infinite wisdom try and get around it by just CGIing dwarves in. And then they're like, why are you taking away dwarves?
But were any dwarfs actually complaining about that, or was it some bullshit thing that non-dwarf people were complaining about on their behalf? Because I feel like, yeah, not with a hard R though, but just
biggest. Well, I'm on myself, you know. I'm about 5 foot.
We're both. Maybe this is why we have so much kind of solidarity with the dwarvish community, is because I called them the dwarven community. I think we need to. We should really blur the lines.
I'm sure. I like ale. We
need to blur the lines between the mythological dwarves and the disabled dwarves. We need to blur that line so that they seem more magical, and then we can respect them more.
The only slight fear with that is that like African witch doctors may try and use them for some kind of ritual.
But then we give them all all the European dwarves axes, and we send them out there, and with axes and shields, and we're like, you guys, there's gold
stocky.
there.
They're known for their defensive powers. basically.
There's gold under a mountain somewhere in Africa, and you need to kill
Which
everyone
definitely
there.
is.
To, you know.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hang on. People mining under mountains in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Chinese dwarves?
Well, I'm sure there are dwarves in China. Could you imagine being a Chinese dwarf? I don't know why.
There definitely are, because there was a episode of Idiot Abroad, the 3rd season, where he goes around with Warwick Davis. In that series, they go to a village in China where they have like a dwarf village, and they pay all the people. There's like a king of the dwarfs, and they, it's like a display for the kids. And they like hire all these people, and they all dress up like soldiers and stuff. They have a little dwarf village, and Warwick Davis has plenty to say about it, as always.
They love doing dramatic performances in China where they dress people up in like military clothes. Do you mean like Red Army, like Chinese Civil War military
ancient
clothes?
China.
Oh, that's sick. Well, a dwarf would look great in that. So they have the
awesome.
same. So they have the same association. So every culture on Earth is in agreement that dwarves have some kind of magical quality.
In some way, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I you know what? I think it's time to bring that back.
Yeah.
Let's appreciate the magic.
Yeah. I mean,
think
about what's outside. How often do you look closely at what's outside? There's so much to see. They see it so close up. They have such a different view of the world.
Well, they're more down to earth.
Yes, exactly.
Like literally more down to earth.
Who was it? George. Who was it? George Coleman. Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman, yeah, the American guy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was a proper dwarf.
I think he might have been a convergently evolved dwarf. He had some other kind of problem. He died of AIDS, did he?
No, he fell over. And hit his head.
I was gonna say, this is like the coolest dwarf ever. He like dies of AIDS, like he died in like the 90s, didn't he? So it'd be like, an Eazy-E kind of AIDS situation.
No,
where
he died in 2010.
Wasn't from fucking guys. Oh.
I think it was him who fell over. Death. Here we are. Yeah, he fell over and hit his head. I mean, that's so unlucky. You're shorter than 5 foot and you fall over and hit your head and die.
Yeah, you've not got a long way to fall, really.
Yeah. I mean, honestly.
Of all the ways to go, R.I.P. Gary Coleman, friend of the show.
R.I.P.
He would have loved
as we learned last week. Rest in black peace, Gary Coleman.
Yes. Oh yeah. Did you figure that out? That's what that means?
No, I have no idea.
I think it's Black Power. I think it's Rest in Black Power.
Rest in Black Power, Gary.
It's Coleman. Like a fist up. Yeah, hell yeah. Up there with Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Yeah, he's not up there, but he's like probably on one of their shoulders. I can't even talk.
Of giants, are we talking about?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It was like Isaac Newton famously said, if I have seen further than others, it is because I have stood on the shoulders of giants. And he was actually mocking a dwarf called Robert Hooke, who was a great scientist.
He was.
But who was quite short, and that's why Isaac Newton, when he said that, he was actually mocking the guy. He was saying, like, standing on the shoulders of giants, like, it's not a very long way up to stand on his shoulders. You know what? Fuck Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton was a bitch. That guy... Wait, did we talk about this on the last episode?
We literally ragged on Isaac Newton in the last episode, but no one heard it, so we can rag on him again.
Zero pussy. I'm saying it again. Zero pussy.
This is where you need to cut in the last rag on Isaac Newton here. We'll have like a set of brackets and a citation to the last episode.
We got to put footnotes in our fucking podcast, man. Yeah, that's how we do this. That's how we get the shit into the Harvard press. We put footnotes on it. We reference, like Gary Coleman 2020.
Gary Coleman 2010. Gary Coleman's autopsy doctor 2010.
Do you know what would be the best thing to do is to submit like a doctoral thesis and all your references are to Jason Arday's work.
Well, his new memoirs are still being published. Apparently, it's one of the headlines in the Times today. So
imagine all the people who are like doing doctorates in sociology right now who have referenced him in their work, and they're like, "Fuck, I got to submit this in like
when's the a day." A day to submit my thesis, and half of it's just Jason Arday.
Half of it has been plagiarized. I'm like
half
indirectly
I've plagiarized from Jason Arday, who's plagiarized it from someone else.
I feel like plagiarism's only a big deal because it's the only way academics can get bitchy, really.
Yeah.
Or it's like the easiest way they can get bit. Like, who cares? You know, you steal someone's idea. What the fuck is an idea? It's literally just in your head. Like, just fucking steal it.
Yeah. This headline writes itself, right? The joke writes itself. You ready? Jason Arde memoir will still be published to honour his wishes. Late academics' families say they are happy to allow the book to speak for itself, adding that many people don't know the truth about his life. Yeah, no shit. I'm not sure he did.
Well, but you would hope a book speaks for itself, you know. It's kind of what a book is. But, you know, shout outs to his family. I think this guy was awesome. I'm very sad. And I think we should, you know, I think if he was with us today, if Jason Arde was still alive, he would be a massive fan of the podcast. Just gonna say.
He definitely would have been. If only he heard it before.
If he had lived one more day, he would have heard it, and he would have been like, this is even better than my sociological research.
Yeah,
you know?
In another universe, he's still alive, and he's the biggest fan of us.
And we plagiarize all the time.
Yeah, and we're Cambridge professors at this point.
I constantly plagiarize people, you know. I'm constantly stealing people's ideas. That's how you're creative. And you know what, when you're a kid, whenever someone accuses you of stealing something off of them, and you're like, you know, copying is the highest form of flattery. And I think that's really
that to a friend of mine.
Exactly. So fuck plagiarism. It's not a real thing. It's flattery. And Jason Arde really should have said that, and he would have been fine. He'd still be with us today. He'd probably be on the podcast right now, drinking beer with me. Yeah. You know, and who knows what would have happened? You know,
we went to a laser tag as a kid, and another kid did a laser tag birthday, and my friend was really annoyed. He was like, he's copying me. And I said, well, imitation is the highest form of flattery, my friend.
There you go. Accusing people of
like that.
Accusing people of copying is the most bitch-made thing you could do, and that's literally all academics seem to do nowadays: is accuse people of copying. You know, and it's like, who cares? It's flattery.
Well, research is really hard now because you can't just do it in your shed. So you can just not do it and just accuse other people of doing what you would have done if you actually did anything.
You can build up. Well, what you have to do is find dwarves to plagiarize, and then when you plagiarize off them, say that you were standing on the shoulders of giants, and then they'll be flattered.
Yes. You can sort of invert Isaac Newton.
And that was Jason Arde's mistake, was he didn't plagiarize enough dwarves.
Yeah. Sociology and dwarves go hand in hand.
I don't like how the plural of dwarf, when you're referring to, like, you know, little people, or I believe the more politically correct term is midgets, I believe.
No. Midgets are different things.
Oh, really? They're a different thing?
Dwarves are a specific condition, and midgets are like in proportion, but dwarves have like bigger heads, like out.
They got big heads.
I think little people is the PC term, which is awful because it sounds really just. It's not great.
I don't think they're little. You know.
No, I think they're huge to me.
To me, they are huge. They're a big part of my life. I wake up every morning. I think about them. That's
it's amazing. You know, whenever you see a family of dwarfs, they've always got like 100 children.
Well, that's like interesting.
Far more children than normal people have. I don't quite understand the logic. You know, like.
Well, think about it like this: the mechanics of it, the hip swing, if you're both dwarves, is much smaller. You know. So you can get a lot more strokes in. They fuck at a much higher rate.
Right,
you know?
The strokes per minute are way higher.
Yeah.
It's like a minigun, but for fucking.
And you know, and it's the same number of strokes per orgasm, so they're just busting more. You know, they're just getting more orgasms in.
You could have a smaller distance, dwarves, and you could just.
Oh, you'd just be, you know, you'd have. I mean, what's really incredible is that they survive childbirth.
That is true. That is quite. I mean, it is quite interesting.
I find childbirth scary as it is, and I'm a man, so you know the idea of giving birth to. Do the babies come out normal size, or are they really small? Are they? Like,
I'm going to look this up. I also want to know what the plural of dwarf plural human.
It should be dwarves with a V plural, but it's not. If they're real dwarfs,
right?
And I don't like that. We got to blur the lines, make them more magical.
My understanding of this is that dwarves with a V is Tolkien's dwarves, like Gimli, and dwarfs with an S is the legally distinct Warhammer version.
So that's where they got it from. They got it from Warhammer.
Yeah, I think so. So dwarfs with an F is more used for real world applications. Although Google AI has corrected me, dwarf to describe a human person is offensive, and should be little person or person with dwarfism, which is widely preferred.
Fuck that. I'm and you know what? I think the dwarfs or dwarves, I'm gonna call them with a V now, are on my side on this one. And I don't know any, but I'm assuming that. And my assumptions are always impeccable. You know. They're just, you cannot beat my assumptions. No one's assumed better than me. I'm so good at assuming. I'm the king of assumptions. I assume all day long, and I'm always fucking right. So I don't even have to think anymore. I just make assumptions about other people, what they think, what they want. You know, I never check with them or anything because I just know.
Well, I'm checking Reddit because I knew this would be a good place to find something like that. And apparently the correct plural form of beef is beeves.
Yeah, is it?
According to some loser on Reddit, yeah.
I hate on Reddit when someone makes a joke and then it creates this huge chain in the comments. And Redditors' idea of joking is always just referencing a show or a film or something, just like just quoting it. And then people just reply with other quotes from the show, like, you know, The Simpsons or something like that. And it's like, guys, shut the fuck up. You all need to get fucking laid. Please.
The problem with Reddit is you say that and you hit them with a dose of reality. And you get
then you realize that they are getting laid just with other disgustingly ugly people. And they're actually getting laid more than you are. And, you know, but it's terrible sex. So you don't really feel insecure as a result because you're like...
And then you feel either a sense of superiority or inferiority and you become racist against Redditors.
They are a race. I think they should do that.
At this point, they should just collect all of them into a nation.
All these social media sites should just form nations, and then we get rid of borders. Have digital borders instead. You know, which nation would you belong to?
I don't want to talk about it again, but in Minecraft, Jesus Christ. I've been seeing videos of people who've been implementing fruit fly brains into mobs in Minecraft. So they've scanned fruit fly neurons and have converted them into JavaScript and put them into Java and put them into Minecraft and have the fruit flies react to different things happening in the game.
Which is pretty horrible. Such a bad afterlife for the fly.
I know, right? You get your brain scanned, and then next time you wake up, you're in fucking Minecraft.
This horrible cubist landscape
is just approaching you. That's one of the tests I saw. It was a harmless black mass that was increasing in size rapidly, and how the fly reacted, and it ran away. Unsurprisingly.
Man, I hate fruit flies though. Those things are fucking disgusting. They're so annoying. Yeah.
Fruit flies aren't great.
Number one insect. Let's go.
Number one insect. Oh shit.
Insect.
You
go have
first,
6 legs.
'cause,
I'm gonna go those huge moths, the really big ones. Any very large moth. Yeah, I like that kind of thing because they're fluffy and they look kind of like people, but they look like a better version of people. You know, and that's how people should look. And we've ended up looking like fucking chimps. And it's disgusting. I hate chimpanzees.
Yeah. We are very ape-like, I suppose, because we're apes.
I hate all the apes. I genuinely, people are like, climate change, chimpanzees are going to go extinct. It's like, let them.
Thank God.
Who gives... Yeah, those are disgusting animals. I hate them. They're fucking annoying. And they remind me of how stupid I really am. And that's the real problem here. So they can go extinct. Spiders can go extinct. You know, hornets. No one wants them. No one asks for that.
No one wants hornets.
No. And then I'll believe in God.
Actually. I like parasitic wasps. There you go.
I like parasitic wasps. Yeah. Tapeworms, awesome. Amazing animals. Beautiful, you might even say.
Yeah.
I'm just rehashing a very old joke of mine. That was the first comedy article I wrote on Substack that no one read. It was saying
yes,
it's about someone who wanted to it was someone who wanted to be a tapeworm, and then it wasn't really that funny, to be honest. Not many of them were that funny. I think some of them were pretty funny. I think the French psychoanalyst one was pretty funny.
I thought they were good, although tapeworms aren't insects.
No, that's true. I'm going moths. Number one insect.
I'm going parasitic wasps because they're freaky little fuckers.
Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice.
Not like yellow jackets. Just the parasitic freaky one.
Have you watched that show? I watched that when the first season came out, and it was okay. Yellow Jackets. I think it's still coming out.
I have no idea what that is.
It's not worth looking up, honestly. Don't worry about it.
Jesus Christ. It's got Ella
But right now,
in it.
I've been watching Desperate Housewives. You ever watched that?
Jesus Christ, man. No, I've not seen Desperate Housewives.
Oh, it's actually a really good show. I would recommend. Yeah. It's it's actually a murder mystery. Well, for one season, and then it kind of goes into Lost type territory, where they kind of forgot why they were making the show, and then it's like,
what is it
still
about?
Entertaining. It was about a bunch of desperate housewives. What more can I say? And if there's a group of people I really relate to, it's Desperate Housewives. That's what I feel like.
Longoria in it.
Which one's she?
I think she's the tall, brown-haired one.
Oh,
she's Gabrielle Solis.
Yeah, my girlfriend loves her, but I don't like her as a character at all. Probably because she cheated on her husband. But
we've been watching The Sopranos. I've been trying to get my girlfriend for ages, and we managed to watch a couple of episodes.
It's a great show.
It is a very good show.
Just the first 2 episodes.
We got through like 3 or 4. We've been playing Minecraft together, so.
Oh man, I need to get a game.
How many times have I mentioned fucking Minecraft in this episode?
Oh, that's all right. We can talk about Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yeah, that's been done before, I'm sure.
Undoubtedly.
I'm not even going to bother. I'm not going to bother making a fucking Hitler joke about that. You know what, Hitler? He's just not really that prominent in my mind at this point, I guess. Yeah. I moved on to other.
It's all been done before.
It's tired. It's unoriginal. It was hot. Not anymore. What's next?
Hot. It's out now.
These people are so unimaginative. People are like, we need a radical new ideology. Communism, fascism,
Nazism.
Yeah. It's like, come on, that's not that radical. That shit's literally from like the 40s. Like, it's old timey shit.
It's really something old timey now.
And don't give me your bullshit accelerationism either, because that's just like the Matrix. You're just describing the plot for the Matrix. I don't care about Nick Land or any of these fucking people. I'm not interested. We need a new philosophy that has never been done before, and there isn't one.
What is a system where we all get our brains scanned and we live in Minecraft?
Well, what we need is a little something I like to call Athelfeather thought. That's
right.
Yeah,
in your little red book.
I need a better color. It's hot pink. My little hot pink book. It's hot pink.
That's cute.
It's like it's got kind of a Paris Hilton 2005 kind of look to it. It's got like and you get like an audio book and like the visuals for that when you play the video on YouTube, it's like blingy era like type, sparkly gifs and stuff. And it's stuff like, this group of people need to be liquidated. This group of people need to be liquidated. This group of people need to be liquidated.
Most of the book is actually just the groups of people that need to be liquidated, and the actual rules for living is near the end.
Yeah, it's got kind of a Pol Pot Khmer Rouge kind of vibe to it, where it's
chimpanzees,
like you wear glasses.
Liquidated.
Yeah, chimpanzees gone, annihilated. But I'll tell you what, it's good because not one of the categories that is intended to be liquidated is a racial category. So you can say what you want. Not a racist.
It's just really arbitrary characteristics that's fairly vague. So you can just...
Yeah, actually more arbitrary than racial characteristics.
Yeah, far more arbitrary.
But they're so arbitrary that you'd have to come up with a new term for this form of prejudice that I've come up with in order to criticize me. and no one's going to know what that is.
Asymmetric eyebrow length.
Exactly, and no one's going to know what that category is. So when you call me a whateverist you think I am, no one's going to know what you're saying, and you're not going to get very far. So good luck trying to cancel me, bitch.
Yeah, losers.
Because I will literally break into your house and yeah. Well, then,
yeah. I think
good times.
That's been good. It's been fun. We will break into your house and kill your mother in her sleep. If you
Unless
don't. Exactly. Look at that segue.
If you don't like and subscribe or comment or interact in some way that is beyond merely playing the file. Yeah, so that's something to look forward to. Yeah, well, again, I'm sorry, audience. It's not been a very good few weeks of podcasting from me, but I will get back into the game. Maybe I'll get fired. Who knows? The problem is the day job, and that is what needs to be dealt with. So I will deal with that in some way or another.
We're in a sort of Sisyphean loop here, because before you were saying they weren't very good because you didn't have a job, and now you've got a job.
I was wrong. What I really need to be is to be unemployed again.
Depressed and unemployed.
Yeah, I'll be way happier.
Yeah.
The problem isn't that I live in a godforsaken country which is just depressing to live in. It just makes you unhappy, and you're surrounded by fucking morons all the fucking time. That's definitely not the problem. It's that I've gone from one state within that situation to another state that's still within that situation. And one of these states I'm going to figure out one day is wrong. One of them isn't working. But I have to keep
try them.
Flicking back and forth. But
society may be fucked, but God continues to worship it.
God doesn't care. Yeah, no. I think you misunderstand the name of the show. I know we're 39 episodes in, but I don't think you know what the show means.
No,
it's not a verb.
God is worshipping society.
That's not what it means.
I take things very literally.
It's a society of God worshippers.
Yeah.
You think it's like a sentence?
No. It is a sentence. God is worshipping the society.
Well, this is what we call one of the paralogisms of pure reason. So we're both right and we're both wrong at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the dialectic, is figuring out what the title of the show actually means. For months, maybe even years.
For years. We might have to come back to this next week.
Well, it's an unwinnable fight, but that's the point. It has the force, the dialectical momentum to push the show forward without really ever reaching any kind of conclusion. And that's the essence of the show. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Everyone should quit their jobs. That's my advice.
Let's accelerate the fall of our society. Quit your jobs.
Exactly. And then we can have a new Reich, if you get my my
catch my drift there.
If you catch my drift, I forgot the expression. That's it. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week for probably a better episode. Thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Wir am 23. Mai, am 60. Jahrestag des Bundeswechsels, unser Bundespräsident wiedergewählt. Meine Damen und Herren, dieser Tag, immerhin der 60. Geburtstag der Bundesrepublik Deutschland. An diesem Tag hat sich ein erfolgreicher Bundespräsident seiner Wiederwahl gestellt und die Sozialdemokraten haben es vorgezogen, mit den Linken zusammen eine eigene Kandidatin aufzustellen, und nur mit der Kraft von Union und SPD ist es gelungen, dass Horst Köhler eine zweite Amtszeit hat. Und da hat sie schon angedeutet, worum es geht. Und ich glaube, wir sind alle froh, dass Horst Köhler weiter unser Bundespräsident ist. 20 Jahre Mauerfall. Alle hier auf dem Platz, die älter als 25 sind, die werden sich sicherlich noch genau daran erinnern, was damals geschah und was sie selber